according to a CNN report, the United States has spent a record of at least $17.9 billion on military aid to Israel since the war in Gaza. Would you continue military aid to Israel, and how important is it to bring security to our ally?
Very important. Israel is an ally of ours. They're the only democratic country in that region of the world. We have exchange of information with them. We're their trade partners. They provide a lot of intelligence information to us. And surrounded by them are proxies of Iran. Iran didn't have the money to wage a proxy war during the Trump administration because the sanctions against Iran were in place. During the Biden administration, those sanctions have been lifted. Iran's selling all of their oil to the Chinese, and now their coffers are full to wage war through proxies. Israel has been a historic ally of ours, a cultural connection between the U.S. and Israel, and that needs to be maintained. You know, the U.S. was the first country to recognize Israel as a nation. President Truman did upon them becoming a nation, and that relationship has been long and strong and needs to be maintained. They have the right to protect themselves, the right to keep their sovereignty.
And Judge, as of April, Congress has appropriated more than $174 billion to assist Ukraine. Would you continue aid to Ukraine as well?
Ukraine, the war between Russia and Ukraine, you have to go back to the beginning. Again, during the Trump administration, we were exporting so much natural gas, liquefying natural gas, sending it to Europe, that Russia no longer had a market cornered in the EU for energy. EU's gotten rid of many of their coal, almost all of their coal-fired electric plants, and now they're using natural gas. Well, Russia could basically charge anything they want. During the Trump administration, we could produce, liquefy, transport, and sell natural gas in the EU at a better rate than the Russians could and still make a profit. Russia has nothing to sell. They have a small economy. They sell weapons and energy. That's it. And so they could not afford to wage a war. Once Biden administration put a stop to exportation and exploration of U.S. energy, now Russia had the market cornered once again. They could fill their coffers, just like Iran, and now they're in a position to wage war, expansionism, and I think Putin has a pretty much insatiable appetite until he's stopped. The war in Ukraine has been extremely complex, not in its origin, but in its management. And if we are going to continue to give money to Ukraine, and I think we should, we have to have more oversight and also decide as the United States, what is our policy towards Russia vis-a-vis Ukraine? Because, you know, we've been telling Ukraine how to wage the war, what weapons to use. And so are we really advocating for Ukraine to win, or is this like a holding action? And what message does it send to all of our NATO partners and those in the EU?